everyone, it's Mama D here with a life lesson from the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit had me go back and read some old journal entries this week to remind me of a word that He gave me in January that I need now. The word has wisdom and discernment about a tactic that the enemy uses to try to derail the plans that God has for us. The enemy can't read our minds, but he can plant thoughts and see how we react to them. He can also sow confusion so that we'll speak. The enemy watches so that he'll know our habits, our weak spots, and our hang-ups. That way he knows exactly where and how to attack us. The Lord has given me a lot of words over the last year or so, many of which I didn't know what they meant at the time. I would speculate, question, write, and talk about them to people that I trust. The challenge and weapon used against me was that discernment, which just means knowing where a thought or word came from, the Holy Spirit or other spirits, was a new concept to me that I was in the very early stages of learning. Anyway, my mind would start racing and going in all different directions, so I would take it to God, as we should. Usually I did that through writing, and I would write about all of the thoughts in my head, goals, tasks, ministry plans, opportunities, etc. The discernment lesson that I didn't understand is that sometimes the conversation with God needs to be between just Him and me. Many times I'd notice that shortly after writing everything out or saying everything out loud, the key word being everything, it would all end up going sideways. Chaos would ensue and things would just fall apart. Now I'm seeing all the red flags that the Lord was giving me. God is not the author of confusion. He's the God of order, peace, love, sound mind, and other things like that, just so much more. It's so true that we don't know what we don't know until we know. He has since pointed out that the enemy knows the thoughts that he planted. Well, I'm spilling everything without using any discernment at all, trying to make sense of conflicting thoughts and instructions to know what I'm supposed to be doing. All the enemy has to do is throw out the thoughts that he planted to know God's plan for me. He could then take that information and use it to confuse me even more, to make me question if I'm hearing God correctly, and keep me from moving forward. I was basically handing the enemy the playbook and wondering how things got so messed up. I'm learning now that when my mind gets to the chaos state, I need to just stop and wait for God. I talk to God quietly and listen for that still small voice, and He always answers eventually. And remember, there's enough ugly in the world. Choose Jesus.